Hi, my name's James Freudigmann and I'm from Propel National Buyers Advocates. So we're here to give you some tips on acquiring commercial premises for your medical practice. The first tip that we can give you out of the top 5 is to check the zoning of the property. So whatever property you're looking at purchasing, ensure that the purpose you're going to use it for is actually permitted under council. If it's not, and you do your due diligence on that, you can make your contract subject to being conditional upon a development approval. So that might be something that if you really like the premises, but you're not permitted zoning, that might be something to do. But zoning is an extremely important aspect of any commercial property that you're looking to purchase. The second major tip that we can say to you, don't trust the selling agent. Now I know a lot of people will say that's probably not a great thing to say, but the selling agent is acting on behalf of the vendor or the person you're trying to buy the property from. So if you can make sure everything they tell you is actually written down, it's formally signed, it's written and included in your contract, that's the best thing you can possibly do to protect yourself. If you don't have it and you're relying verbally on the agent's word, like I said, they're not working for you, so you want to actually make sure you get it in writing. The third major item that comes up a lot with any sort of health professional is parking and signage. Wherever you go, if you're going in an actual medical practice building or whether you're going for your own individual freehold building, it's important to look at the parking requirements. If there's a lot of parks in front of the building, but they might not actually be on title for the title that you're purchasing, instead they could just be an exclusive use, or they might just be attributed to the building as a whole and not your particular strata title. So ensure that any of those parks that are included in the building are actually written on your contract and registered to your title. The second thing is signage rights. A lot of buildings, if they're on the corner of a main road, will have restrictions on what signage can front the main road. So if you're buying that, try to ensure that you've got some allowance of signage on the main street frontage instead of just purely the second street frontage. If you're on just a quiet street, obviously again, still make sure that you have the rights for signage on the front of your building. The fourth tip I can give you is to make sure you do all of your due diligence. So we put it as leave no stone unturned and never be afraid to ask a question. You don't want to buy a property and find out about a problem 6 months later. You want to know up front, before you commit to signing and going unconditional on your contract, absolutely everything that could possibly affect your business. Zoning, parking, signage, they all come into it as elements that are specialised, very important elements, but things like caveats on title, building condition reports, termite barriers, multiple tenancies, if it's a complex that already has leases in place, it's important to review those leases because you don't want to buy a building to use one part of it and then realise that all the other tenants are expiring in 6 months and you're left with vacancy and covering the cost of the whole building. So review your leases, make sure you're across everything to do with the building, the area, what competition is in the near vicinity that's going to restrict your business expanding, and just make sure that if you're unsure about anything, you ask the right questions. There's never a question that is too stupid, too dumb, or not really worthwhile asking. Everything is important for you because it's a very, very large investment. The final tip I can give you is specialise in what you do and get the right advice. We work as buyers advocates. We purely work on behalf of anybody that's trying to buy a property. Set a buying brief, look at the parameters of what you need to buy, and then we go and try and find that and do all the negotiations. You're health professionals, you specialise in what you do. You might be a surgeon, a dentist, a GP, whatever it is that you do, that's your specialty, that's what you're good at, that's what earns your income. You use a financial planner if you're trying to get financial advice, use a broker or a banker for getting a loan, use an accountant for your tax. Maybe consider using somebody who has the specialisation in acquiring commercial property. So they're the 5 major tips I can give you for if you're going to buy premises for your health practice. But overall, we're buyers advocates. We will assist you if you want someone to go and find a property for you, do all of your due diligence, do all of your negotiations, so you can get into the premises you want with all the knowledge of the property as a whole. So thank you very much.